Am I right or wrong? Look at her. How am I supposed to do this interview? Look at this woman.
Tell me your story.
She's so beautiful.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today, we're counting down our picks for the most notable celebrity interviews that were seemingly innocent but have since been cast in a disturbing light due to shifts in public opinion or controversies involving either the interviewer or interviewee.
Come on, no, that's the way to do it right there, come on!
Number 20, Justin Roiland. You might not be familiar with his name, but you definitely recognize his voice. Justin Roiland rose to prominence as the co-creator and voice behind the main characters of the hit animated sitcom Rick and Morty.
Oh, Morty. Oh, Morty. Help me, Morty. Help me, Rick.
In 2023, however, Roiland was fired from the show following accusations of sexual misconduct and predatory behavior towards minors. As the scandal unfolded, the 2011 episode of his podcast, the Grandma's Virginity Podcast, resurfaced, in which Roiland made troubling remarks about being attracted to minors.
Look, I don't break the law. I would never break the law.
Many perceived these comments as confirmation of the allegations against him. While he was initially cleared of criminal charges, Roiland faced a barrage of new sexual assault allegations later that year, all of which he vehemently denied. Number 19, Chris D'Elia. In 2020, comedian and actor Chris D'Elia was accused of sexual harassment and predatory behavior. It was alleged that he had solicited explicit pictures from his accusers, sometimes via Snapchat. After the allegations became public, an old clip from D'Elia's appearance on the podcast The Fighter and the Kid resurfaced. In it, the discussion centered around a high school teacher who was caught sending inappropriate photos of herself to her student on Snapchat.
She sent it through Snapchat. Why does she have her student Snapchat?
Yeah, well, that's weird, yeah.
This initially puzzles D'Elia, as he was of the impression that such images disappeared. But his confusion quickly morphs into astonishment when he learns that content on Snapchat can actually be saved.
Snapchat goes away, right?
He probably saved it. You can screen record, take screenshots.
Wow.
For some, it appeared the comedian realized the potential consequences for his own alleged actions. Number 18, Courtney Love. In 2017, Hollywood was rocked by numerous sexual assault allegations against movie producer Harvey Weinstein. While these claims stunned the world, they seem to already be common knowledge within the entertainment industry. This was evident in a 2005 red carpet interview with Courtney Love at the Comedy Central roast of Pamela Anderson. When asked what advice she had for aspiring actresses in Hollywood, Love warned them to steer clear of Harvey Weinstein.
Harvey Weinstein invites you to a private party and enforces and stuff. Yeah.
Following the resurgence of this video, Love disclosed on Twitter that she was essentially blacklisted by the talent firm Creative Artists Agency for speaking out against Weinstein. It may have taken years, but her warnings were eventually vindicated.
Please don't sentence me to life in prison, he told the court.
Number 17, Melissa Benoist. Supergirl star Melissa Benoist appeared on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon in 2016, where she shared a story about a home accident. She recounted how she tripped down a flight of stairs and injured her eye by crashing into a potted plant.
And I slipped and fell and hit my eye on a potted plant.
Despite the lighthearted delivery, it later emerged that the entire incident was fabricated. In 2019, Benoist bravely disclosed her experience as a survivor of domestic violence by an unnamed former partner. She then described a particular incident that was remarkably similar to the staircase mishap, admitting that she had made up the story to evade suspicion.
We made up a flimsy story together. I had tripped and fallen on the stairs of our deck and hit my face on a potted plant.
Revisiting the interview, it's distressing to think of the pain she was concealing behind her smile.
And I hope that telling my story might help prevent more stories like mine from happening.
Number 16, Corey Feldman. Former child actor Corey Feldman has consistently claimed that he and his fellow star, Corey Haim, experienced harassment from top Hollywood figures early in their careers. In 2013, Feldman revisited the issue during an interview on The View, where he cautioned parents about the potential dangers of putting their kids in show business.
And they do not want me saying what I'm saying right now.
Co-host Barbara Walters promptly rebuked Feldman for his comments, accusing him of harming the reputation of the industry.
You're damaging an entire industry.
Although the interview soon faded from public consciousness, it re-emerged in 2017 amid the Me Too movement, which shed light on widespread sexual misconduct in Hollywood. Walters was heavily criticized for what appeared to be her disregard for the risks faced by child actors in the industry. Number 15, Vin Diesel. In December 2023, action star Vin Diesel was sued by his former assistant, Asta Jonassen, who accused him of sexual battery in retaliation. Jonassen alleged that Diesel sexually assaulted her while filming Fast 5 and then fired her, claiming she was, quote, no longer useful. These accusations brought renewed attention to a little-known interview the actor had done in 2016. Diesel was promoting his film XXX Return of Xander Cage and spoke with Brazilian YouTuber Carol Moreira.
God, you're so beautiful. God, she's so beautiful, man.
During the interview, he quickly became enamored with Moreira, hitting on her relentlessly and preventing her from doing her job.
Look how beautiful she is. You guys think it's a joke. How am I supposed to sit over here when I'm looking at such beauty?
Moreira later admitted that she was, quote, completely uncomfortable with the actor's advances, which is pretty obvious just from watching the clip.
Guys, what's wrong? Am I the only one that's saying it? Look at her.
Number 14, Louis C.K. The comedian Louis C.K. was one of several industry heavyweights who was accused of sexual misconduct in late 2017. 5 women came forward claiming that he'd exposed himself to them. C.K. later admitted to the allegations and issued an apology, stating that he had, quote, wielded his power irresponsibly.
I want to address the stories told to the New York Times by 5 women. These stories are true.
This revelation prompted scrutiny of CK's previous stand-up material and interviews, some of which shared troubling connections to the real-life allegations. In particular, it cast a disturbing light on a 2012 interview the comedian granted to Vanity Fair. When asked about what trait he most deplores about himself, CK responded with an unsettling reference to his genitals. Number 13, Geena Davis and Bill Murray. In 1990, Geena Davis and Bill Murray co-starred in the crime comedy film Quick Change, which Murray also co-directed. The film drew attention in 2022 when Davis accused Murray of sexually assaulting her during her audition.
I said no multiple times, but he wouldn't relent.
Those claims were seemingly confirmed by the actor, not in 2022, but back when the two appeared on the Arsenio Hall show to promote the film. Throughout the interview, Murray repeatedly strokes Davis's arm and at one point even pulls down the strap of her dress, much to Davis's discomfort.
He touched you a lot in the audition?
Yeah.
The actress recounted the claims during the interview, albeit in a more humorous manner. But in light of her 2022 allegations, there's no way to look at that clip without feeling creeped out.
She's really a very nice person. And get a load of the dress.
Number 12, Jimmy Savile. While still alive, Jimmy Savile was a widely beloved English media personality, having hosted the BBC's Top of the Pops show for years. However, it wasn't until after his death that his true nature came to light. An ITV documentary revealed that Savile was a serial sexual predator, with victims potentially numbering in the hundreds. Savile was able to disguise behind his playful character, but he seemingly dropped clues about his reprehensible actions.
You also used to be a wrestler, is that right?
Still am.
Still am?
I'm fit in every girls' school in Britain.
In this 1999 appearance on the BBC show Have I Got News for You, Savile alluded to his predatory behavior by phrasing it as a joke.
You used to be a wrestler, didn't you? Is that right?
I still am.
Oh, yeah.
I'm fit in every girls' school in this country.
Although some of the allegations against him emerged while he was still alive, Savile managed to deflect them using similar tactics.
What do you do in the caravan?
Anybody I can lay my hands on.
Number 11, R. Kelly. To be fair, this interview was disturbing even back when it was made. In 2008, R. Kelly sat down with BET reporter Touré. Earlier that year, the singer had been acquitted in a trial centered around his possession of highly inappropriate material.
Well, those people that don't know Robert, they don't know me.
Touré bluntly asked Kelly if he was attracted to minors. Instead of a flat-out negative response, Kelly asked for further clarification, which was just as bad as answering in the affirmative.
When you say teenage, how are we talking?
Even with such an inappropriate response, the interview had no significant consequences on his career. It would take a little over a decade with the release of the 2019 docuseries Surviving R. Kelly for this interview to take on an even more troubling layer.
I know a lot of people be out to get me because I'm very vulnerable, man.
Number 10, David Letterman. The 2021 documentary Framing Britney Spears sparked online discussions about the media's treatment of female celebrities. Amid that backdrop, former Late Show host David Letterman came under fire for some of his past interviews. Arguably, the most disturbing occurred in 1998, when he interviewed actress Jennifer Aniston, who's promoting her film Object of My Affection.
It's not as bad as I think people assume it is, but you know, there's always those odd encounters.
During their conversation, Letterman suddenly approached a visibly uncomfortable Aniston and sucked on a strand of her hair.
What are you doing?
He then handed her a tissue to wipe the saliva off. The veteran host was also taken to task for a 2013 interview with Lindsay Lohan, where he ambushed her with several inappropriate questions, leading her to tear up at one point.
You can't make a joke of it. That's so mean.
I'm not joking.
No, you're not doing that. We're not doing that.
Number 9, Jussie Smollett. On January 29, 2019, Empire actor Jussie Smollett reported that he had been the victim of an alleged hate crime in Chicago. Smollett claimed that 2 men had attacked him in the early hours of the morning while yelling racial and homophobic slurs at him.
Dozen detectives are pursuing new leads, including grainy photos of 2 persons of interest.
When authorities launched an investigation into the alleged attack, several inconsistencies in Smollett's story began to emerge. On February 14th, the actor discussed the incident in an interview with ABC's Robin Roberts, expressing that he was, quote, pissed off at those who doubted his story.
How can you doubt that? Like, how do you not believe that? It's the truth.
However, less than a week later, it was revealed that Smollett had indeed staged the attack, leading to his criminal indictment for filing a false police report.
Now, a grand jury on Tuesday indicted Smollett on 6 counts of disorderly conduct.
Number 8, Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen. Back in 2004, celebrity twins Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen were still teenagers when they appeared on The Oprah Winfrey Show. During the interview, Winfrey brought up reports that Mary-Kate had been dealing with an eating disorder. Ashley immediately came to her defense, stating that they didn't care about what was discussed in the tabloids.
I know there's a new rumor that's recently surfaced. Has really upset you, right? You know, the one about eating.
Yeah, you know, people are going to write what they want to write.
However, Winfrey interrupted Ashley with an inappropriate question about their weight, leaving both sisters visibly surprised.
What size are you, by the way?
Size?
Yeah, I always like to know.
I'm really sure.
You're not sure?
Girls and, you know.
That's so interesting.
This was particularly disturbing given the fact that the twins were minors at the time, and Mary-Kate would seek treatment later that year for an eating disorder. When the interview resurfaced in 2021, Winfrey faced intense criticism for her handling of the situation.
How horrified Mary-Kate and her sister Ashley were when they were asked that question, and then for Oprah to laugh about it.
Number 7, Ashton Kutcher. In 2023, Hollywood couple Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis came under fire after writing letters of support for their former co-star Danny Masterson, who was convicted of sexual assault. Subsequently, one of Masterson's accusers shared a clip from a 2003 episode of Kutcher's show Punk'd, where he made a seemingly predatory comment about actress Hilary Duff. This remark made by Kutcher, who was 25 at the time, raised significant concerns about his behavior.
That we're all waiting for to turn 18.
The backlash on the actor further intensified after another clip from a 2002 interview on The Rosie O'Donnell Show resurfaced. In it, Kutcher gleefully admitted to participating in a bet with Masterson to French kiss Kunis on screen without her consent, even though she was still a minor.
So I was like, okay. Then Danny goes and goes, dude, I'll give you $10 if you French kiss her.
Number 6, Ellen DeGeneres. Talk show hosts have always found creative ways to get the scoop on the lives of their celebrity guests. But Ellen DeGeneres seemed to have crossed a line in a 2008 interview with Mariah Carey that left the singer extremely uncomfortable.
People are saying that that you're pregnant. There's rumors.
Don't discuss that.
In a bid to confirm pregnancy rumors, DeGeneres offered Carey champagne and pressured her to drink it. Carey, who looked a bit uneasy, initially tried to fend her off, but eventually appeared to take a small sip. DeGeneres interpreted this as confirmation and proceeded to celebrate. However, in 2020, Carey disclosed that she wasn't ready to share the news at the time due to a previous miscarriage. Tragically, she lost the pregnancy shortly after the controversial interview.
But she says she didn't enjoy that moment.
Number 5, Matt Lauer. The Me Too movement led to the downfall of several industry heavyweights. including longtime Today host Matt Lauer. Lauer was fired by NBC in November of 2017 after allegations of, quote, inappropriate sexual behavior in the workplace came to light. Following his dismissal, a peculiar 2009 interview with actress Sandra Bullock resurfaced. Bullock was there to promote her film The Proposal, only to be bombarded with remarks about her nude scenes.
The major thing that's changed since you were here last?
Yes.
I have now seen you naked.
Lauer displayed an unsettling excitement at the thought of seeing the actress naked, even adding that the image had become his screensaver.
You're naked for most of this movie.
I so
Many found this disturbing, especially in light of his sexual misconduct allegations. At the end of the interview, Lauer asks Bullock to return soon, an invitation she instantly declines.
Sandra Bullock, come back more often.
No, not after this interview.
Number 4, Ben Affleck. In the wake of the Me Too movement, many began to re-examine past behavior of celebrities that was once normalized. Enter actor and filmmaker Ben Affleck. In October of that year, actress Hilary Burton alleged that Affleck had groped her during a 2003 appearance on MTV's Total Request Live.
Yeah, he pulled that move
That's
for
his
sure.
move, yeah.
Following this allegation, the actor issued a statement apologizing for his inappropriate behavior. Shortly after, another video resurfaced from a 2004 interview with Canadian journalist Anne-Marie Lozique. In it, Affleck tightly embraces Lozique and makes suggestive comments about her body.
You know, you should work at Fox here in LA. You'd blend right in, they would love you.
At first glance, it appears highly inappropriate and raises questions about Affleck's behavior towards women. According to Lozique, however, it was all an intentional act for the cameras to boost ratings.
It was strictly for the cameras while the cameras were on. While they were off, he was actually very proper and we talked about many things.
Number 3, Britney Spears. In 2003, shortly after her high-profile split from Justin Timberlake, Britney Spears sat down with veteran TV presenter Diane Sawyer. During the interview, Sawyer asked Spears a slew of questions that would be uncomfortable for anyone to answer, let alone a 21-year-old.
Is it an addiction?
Is it an addiction? No, I don't think it's an addiction. I think it does put me, it makes me happy.
Among other topics, she grilled her about the breakup with Timberlake and also seemingly defended a statement by then First Lady of Maryland who said she would shoot Spears if given the opportunity.
Oh, that's horrible.
Well,
That's really bad.
because of the example for kids and how hard it is to be a parent.
Needless to say, the now infamous interview felt more like an interrogation. At one point, the singer even broke down in tears. The clip ignited a wave of criticism directed at Sawyer after it was featured heavily in the 2021 documentary Framing Britney Spears.
And yet he's left the impression that you weren't faithful, that you betrayed the relationship.
I think everyone has a side to their story.
Number 2, Danny Masterson. Who knew late-night talk show hosts could predict the future? As earlier mentioned, Hollywood actor Danny Masterson made headlines in 2023 after he was convicted of sexually assaulting 2 women in the early 2000s. He received a prison sentence of 30 years to life for these crimes. Masterson's sentencing led to the discovery of an old clip from his 2004 appearance on Late Night with Conan O'Brien. When asked about his lack of a Long Island accent, the actor's response was an uncomfortable joke with a vulgar undertone.
Like my friend Bodie Elfman, he always teases me and he says, "Hi, my name is Danny Masterson. Would you like to touch my balls?"
Perhaps sarcastically, O'Brien quipped that Masterson's day of reckoning would soon come. It may have taken nearly 2 decades, but that statement ultimately came to fruition.
I've heard about you. And you'll be caught soon. I know you will. I will.
To your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, Bill Cosby. Disgraced actor and comedian Bill Cosby has faced dozens of sexual assault allegations throughout his career. Many of his accusers claim that Cosby drugged them before committing the despicable acts. These allegations may not come as a surprise, considering that in a 1991 interview on CNN's Larry King Live, Cosby seemingly alluded to spiking people's drinks. Speaking with King, the comedian made a joke about Spanish fly, a drug used as an aphrodisiac.
We will still be searching for Spanish fly.
Cosby talked about dropping the pill in a lady's drink as a means of having one's way with her. Even King joins in on the topic, concluding Cosby's lewd joke with, "She's yours." We'd say it's a disturbing clip, but even that seems like an understatement.
And the girl would drink it and she's yours. Hello, America.
What other celeb interview do you think needs a reassessment? Sound off in the comments.
Was it all right? I mean, was it hard to do? No, it just happened.